ability to tell if you have or have had a snake in your yard can prove to be invaluable. This is especially true if you have small children and or pets. Knowing a few core signs to look for can enable you to keep your family safe and take the proper precautions to avoid a major issue. In this material, we will discuss not only how to tell if you have a snake in your yard, but also the common living and hiding spots for snakes. Being mindful of these spots can help you to snuff out a snake's future home. Let's get started. In order to understand where snakes could live within your yard, it's important to understand what snakes need and what they're always looking for. There are three core things to be mindful of. Snakes need a source of food, they need warmth, and they need a place to hide out from predators. Remembering these elements can help you to eliminate or quote unquote change up anything in your yard that could make the perfect living quarters and hideout area for a snake. Let's explore a few possible housing locations. The first area of concern for you is that of undergrowth. Snakes love to hide in thick grass and bushes. These offer areas of security. Tall grass, piles of leaves, and wood debris. Do you have logs on your property? How about a pile of limbs from minor storm damage? If you have a yard, you already know how random stuff can collect. These areas could be perfect for a snake. The next source of concern is garden features. We all like to decorate our yards, but sometimes those aesthetic and beneficial pieces can lure snakes to the party. In some cases, even simple patio furniture can pose a major problem. Snakes can hide up underneath outdoor furniture, underneath and behind cushions, and any form of storage box or container. If you have patio furniture or yard features with a few nooks and crannies, those areas could be home to a snake. Areas of brickwork can also be problematic, as well as a crawl space from under your house to your yard. While it's common to see a few holes in your yard, especially if you live in a more country setting, away from high residential traffic, the burrows that are often created by other critters can become the future home of a snake. While snakes can't create their own burrows, they can certainly set up shop in someone else's. Snakes can utilize burrows to not only hunt for prey, but also to hide out. Burrows can become a major problem, especially if you have curious children. While a snake hiding in patio furniture is bad enough, a burrow can breed a bit more intrigue and temptation in a child. If you see a burrow on your property, fill it in as soon as possible or cover it with a large rock if the situation is viable. Our next area of concern is that of a crawl space. The snake in your yard could be splitting time between the yard and the crawl space under your house. Crawl spaces are a prime location for snakes. Crawl spaces provide snakes with shelter and the potential for food, as rodents may also seek the same area for shelter. Do you have any cavities in your home or under your home? A few problem areas? Snakes can take advantage of these areas and eventually find their way in your home. If they are living within parts of your home, you may hear them moving around on some occasions. While not a pleasant thought, it can certainly happen. The final potential living location that we'll discuss is trees. While terrestrial snakes live most of their lives on the ground, arboreal snakes live in trees. However, any snake can climb. Seeking birds and their eggs, snakes often have a good reason to patrol trees. Snakes can also gain access to your yard by navigating trees and catching a limb that hangs on your property. Now that we've covered the potential living locations, how can you tell if you have a snake in your yard? How can you tell if a snake has been on your property? Let's detail a few ways. The first notable way you can tell if a snake has been on your property is due to the appearance of snake skin. If skin is in your grass, then the occurrence is obvious. Snake skins are clear and have a scale pattern on them. It honestly doesn't get more obvious than this calling card. It's essentially the equivalent of a person leaving their driver's license on the ground in public. The next way to tell if a snake has been in your yard is a noticeable trail. While not all snakes move in a side-to-side motion, those that do will leave a trail in your grass. Depending on the height of your grass and the environmental conditions, you should be able to spot this unique design without a lot of difficulty. Trails will become all the more apparent if the snake has been living on your property for days, weeks, or even months. Another way to tell if a snake has been on your property is through smell. Some snakes produce an odor. Garter snakes, for example, give off a musk type scent. You know your yard. You know the normal smells. If your yard has a musky smell, then something could be going on. While snakes don't usually release this smell unless they've been threatened, the threat itself may not be from you. There's a chance you could not only have a snake on your property, but also a predator that views your uninvited snake guest as prey. While this sign is a bit more difficult to spot compared to that of snake skin or a defined trail, keep your nose to the wind if you're concerned. Have you noticed a few critters on your property, or lack thereof? Fewer mice, or perhaps fewer birds? Is everything unusually quiet in this regard? Because snakes can't eat fruits or vegetables, the quiet nature of your yard could mean that you have a snake intruder. If your property used to be home to a plethora of birds and a decent number of rodents, and all of that has suddenly changed, be on the lookout for trails and snake skins. Also check the known living locations we've discussed. You could have several snakes present. While that will conclude things for the video portion of this subject matter, we invite you to visit us at snakesforpets.com to learn more about this particular topic. If you're currently viewing this video off-site, we encourage you to click the initial link in the description box that is available to you. Said link will take you to an in-depth article concerning this subject matter. And until our paths cross again, we thank you so much for watching. We hope you have a wonderful day, and we'll talk to you later.